This is the One Episode Rule, podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, back on my Golden Camway bullshit.
Yes. It's Golden Camway time.
Vasily is here. He draw pictures. Also, there's an extended bit about how one of Ujikata's guys knows exactly what every fold of another guy's asshole looks like because he was his prison warden and he always had to look at his butt.
Oh, you're on that one. Okay. Yeah,
and
I
the guy
remember
he's
that.
talking to is just like, he's a poisoner. He couldn't put that stuff in his ass to smuggle it in. He'd kill himself. You're an idiot. I'm just like, oh man, I did that for nothing. Why is it like this?
He loves tormenting his characters. The author of this manga / anime. He loves tormenting them. That's all.
I think there's been multiple multiple like incidents about people talking about butthole peepers.
Yeah, Golden Camway loves butthole jokes. It loves dick jokes.
What
a way to start the episode. I haven't even introduced myself yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take me out to dinner first.
Incidentally.
Blackle's here.
I haven't watched any anime. I've been jet setting. I've been all over the world.
Anyway, enough of that.
Really, I've been in like a very small area of northwestern or northeastern United States and Canada.
Back to the buttholes.
No. All right.
Back to the buttholes.
No, you went to Chicago, did you not?
I went to Chicago. I went to South Bend. I went to North Bay. I went to Cottage Country. I've been all over the place in last week.
Michael has seen it all officially,
I've seen every single thing except for most things.
Anime, except for most anime. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's unexplored territory.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that.
But we can expand your horizons just a little bit.
Thank you.
Just a tiny bit. Hi, I'm Joey. I actually did watch anime this week because I finished Akudama Drive.
Oh, yeah?
You know what? It was actually way better than I thought it was going to be, just based off the first episode. Because, okay, here's kind of the breakdown. You get, like, episodes, like, I would say, like, 1 through 3, where it's just kind of, like, slightly a lol XD, so random, sort of, like, anime hijinks. You're just like, okay, this is a heist show, right?
Yeah.
And then they get to episode, like, 4 and 5, and you start getting a little confused. You're like, this feels like they're doing something weird, and I don't really understand where they're going with this. And then you get to, like, episode maybe, like, 6, and you're just like, oh shit, are they cooking? And then from, like, there on out, you're just like, oh no, they're cooking.
Oh, apparently they cook.
Because we go from, like, the heist show to, like, oh, we have discovered these, like, exploited children, and we are going to sacrifice everything so that they may live. And it kind of slaps. It kind of goes off towards the end, especially towards the end there. Like,
well,
we're doing, like, revolutions against the city police and shit. And it was like, whoa. I was here for it.
Well, shit. That's our off the record correspondent.
Yeah, so like if you watch, this is my recommendation. If you watch Akudama Drive, give it like more than one episode. Give it at least up till episode 6. I know
anti-theatrical to the podcast.
I know.
To the podcast,
Listen, I know it is, but like this is my personal recommendation. Okay,
gotta save that shit for bonus episodes. You guys want some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
I'll tell you some news. You want to know what happened to me while I was looking at my television in the dead of night last night, watching some I'm sure preparing to watch some stupid video about a 30-year-old video game or Vinny Vinesauce doing something insane.
Yeah, naturally.
I got to see, as an advertisement, a full-length trailer for the Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim.
Whoa!
Which is
sick.
Which I'm going to report is being described in this article I'm looking at as a Studio Ghibli epic set in Middle Earth. It is not that, but it does look halfway decent.
Nice. That's cool. I'm here for it.
It's got some shit going on.
Okay.
There is a segment. This is a female-led anime.
Yes, I have heard that.
She's got the warrior one. There's the segment in there where she is fully riding a horse with sword and shield, but she's wearing some sort of diaphanous gown, and it's very aesthetic.
They didn't go for the ass outlook then, huh?
She's just like, I am. No, not these aren't. Unfortunately, these are not Frank Frazetta's Rohirrim.
Not this time.
They're not here to kill the ass out.
Can't do that.
Let's see what else. Look Back has got a North American theatrical release window. It's going to be out in October if you want to go see that.
Nice.
I hear it's real fucking good. I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to be a grown man who goes to see an anime movie alone.
Do it. You've done it before.
In theater, but that'll be October 4th.
Hey, my birthday.
Your birthday. Happy birthday from Tatsuki Fujimoto to you.
Thank you. Thank you, anime.
And finally, this isn't breaking news, but they're apparently going to remaster. They've done a 4K remaster of Macross Do You Remember Love? And they're going to air that for its 40th anniversary and theatrical screenings and such.
Nice.
Which just makes me think, hey, we should probably watch Macross.
I've actually seen some Macross.
But yeah, we should
cool
investigate that. Cool robot. I've always seen GIFs from the Macross movies, and it's always the hypest, coolest shit happening.
Yeah, pretty much. And also child soldiers, I believe.
And child soldiers.
Yeah, they're in there.
So yeah, that's pretty neat. I've got a pick for my long-standing Will Black'll like the show experiment. Would you guys like to know what it is?
Absolutely.
I would love to know.
This doesn't appear to have an English title, but it is called Tonari no Yokai-san.
Oh, a yokai show, huh?
Yeah, it looks like a yokai show.
Cool.
I'm sorry, little Jessica. Your dad's in the back rooms now.
They put him in Pool World.
Yeah. He's in Pool World running around trying to find a towel.
Blackle, that's pretty dark. I was gonna just be like, yeah, I remember whenever they made the cucumber horse to come and get me from the airport.
I was just gonna be like, hey, we invented a new type of cat boy.
New type of cat boy.
Type of cat boy dropped.
He's such an old type of cat boy.
He's an ancient old man cat boy.
Was it that Akira Kurosawa movie where they had the cat funeral? The procession of cats walking like men, or were those foxes? I can't remember.
They were foxes. Those were foxes. And it was a wedding.
Oh, it was a wedding
fox
that
wedding.
time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and they made someone. They gave someone a murderous. This is out of the scope of our anime podcast. Anyhow,
hey guys, if you want a real treat, you should watch Akira Kurosawa's Dreams.
Please watch it. It's really good. It's very scary, but it's really good too.
Really interesting, man. Does anybody want this, or do I have to read it?
You gotta read it. I can't look at the screen right now.
Oh, you gonna read it, Blackle?
Yeah.
In the town of Engamori, supernatural beings known as yokai, gods, and humans have been living amongst each other for centuries, each striving to lead ordinary, peaceful lives. One day, Buccio, a 20-year-old cat, mysteriously evolves into a Nekomata, a feline yokai, near the end of his life. Although this allows him to stay with his human family longer, it also makes him question the reason behind his evolution, along with the special abilities that have recently manifested in him. Meanwhile, an elementary school girl named Mitsumi Muchan Shigemoto Sugimoto, begins to feel more attached to Jiru, a Tengu, a crow-like yokai, and Jiro begins to fill the void left by her late father. While both are unable to properly communicate their intentions at first, they gradually form a companionship where they protect each other.
You know when you replace your dad with your neighbor who's also a 6-foot tall bird man.
Mm-hmm.
I do that.
Honestly, it sounds almost weird and nefarious in the description. In the show, it's very wholesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very nice bird man.
In fact, in general, I found the show to be very pleasant. But yeah, and it's basically a bunch of vignettes about people going about their days in town. And what's the first one? Is it just yeah, it's just a kid saying just like, actually I have to get home. My cat turned into a Nekomata. They're just like, oh shit, Buccio? It's just like, yeah, Buccio did. It's just like, well shit, we're coming too. We gotta see him. It's just like, actually, I'd kinda like to leave him be. It's just like, nope. No, we're coming.
We're coming. That's a Nekomata.
That's a
I'm gonna come
Nekomata.
see
Buccio's
it.
going to college.
That's kind of the vibes.
They're gonna
Even.
it feels like they're sending Buccio to college. But the thing is that in the next scene, his older brother has filmed the full transformation. He has gone from Housecat to demon to Nekomata, which involves basically just his tail split
Yeah.
into two
He's got
tails,
two
and
tails
he
now.
walks upright now, and he can use his hands, and he talks.
And he talks.
He looks very much like a normal cat, otherwise.
Well, I mean, he is a male calico, which is unusual.
Yeah.
But like, that's beyond the scope of the
that may also
show.
be related to why
Cat
he's special.
genetics.
I know my lucky cat lore too, and the calicos are the luckiest, so maybe that's why he turned into a Nekomata.
I'm just talking about cat genetics. Genetically speaking, male calicos are near impossible.
I'm just talking about my cat folklore.
Sure,
Okay?
I get it. I understand. I'm just saying. I don't buy it.
We got this covered from so many angles. But the problem, but Buccio has the problem in that he's very embarrassed by all of this.
He's just hiding.
How do we feel about Buccio? Because I think he's adorable.
He's a delight. One of the Nekomata of all time, really.
One of the talking cats of all time. Usually talking cats are so superior.
Yeah, no, he is not like haughty. He is not like a rude boy at all. He is just a gentle friend.
He's kind of a sweet little dipshit.
He's a little cutie pie.
And yeah, he's hiding in a bag because he's embarrassed by all of it.
He's like, this is weird, man. I don't know.
It's just like, I turned into this, and Nekomata already stand out, like, and I'm shy by nature, and my name's Buccio. I didn't care about this when I was a cat.
I like how accepting the mom is, just like, you can change your name, honey.
Yeah, because it's like, who named it Buccio? And she's like, I named it Buccio. It's just like, listen, you're part of our family now, and we will help you adjust to your new life, and you don't have to be Buccio if you don't want to. You can be something else.
You can have your chosen name if you want.
He's just like, I actually like Buccio now.
It's like, Buccio's fine.
Because of this outpouring of love. And we basically jump between the story of Buccio trying to come to grips with what he is, and Muchan and Jiro. Which is because she went with them to see Buccio, and we follow her out actually because she's running back home, and she runs into a crow tengu at the bus stop. There's two types of tengu here, so we have to make the distinction. But
yeah, because there's like, this is the crow tengu, which just looks like a crow guy.
He fully lives with a mountain tengu too, which is the red-faced guy with the long nose.
Yeah, this like more of a stereotypical like tengu.
Because they both existed, but yeah, he runs into him, and it's just like, oh, these two are so familiar, and it made me think about like Japanese like rural life, especially in an area like this, where it's just be like, oh yeah, they probably would be familiar, wouldn't they? Just be like, oh, it's fully my neighbor who just happens to be a yokai.
Yeah. It's
like,
fine.
I'm sure he babysit this kid, you know. Because the pair of yokai actually, the pair of Tengu actually appear to be extremely like responsible people.
Yeah.
And yeah, they hang out at the bus stop for a while because it's 34°C. I don't know how hot that is.
It's really hot. It's really fucking hot.
It's quite hot.
It's like high. It's like 100 or something.
It's like nearly 100. Okay. Today it was a little less than that.
Yeah.
But
it's like 100.
Couldn't imagine.
But it has been like 105 recently here in
I hate that.
I
hate everything about that.
But I remember there was a Twitter thing going around where people were drawing different types of national Mikus. That I think started with Brazilian Miku, and I saw a whole bunch of them, and I didn't really retweet them. But I did find Texas Miku, and the poor thing is just stuck behind the wheel of a Mazda pickup truck, 105-degree heat. It's like, yeah, that's Texas Miku, all right. But yeah, but he's such a cool guy that he just straight up has ice cream on him. It's just like, yeah, I won this at the store. You can have it, kid. It's too hot. He's just like, what? You're not gonna go home? It's like, of course I'm gonna go home. I'm just trying to get the old man to come and pick me up.
You can fly? And he's like,
it's just like, well, it's really tiring. That'd be like running home for you.
And then I'm just like, wow, well, then what's the fucking point?
Well, he can fly if he needs to.
I know, but like, I would want to have more wing energy than that.
I would work out my wings so I could fly more easily.
You'd be jacked. Absolutely swole.
An enormous fucking shoulder and chest muscle.
Everyone would be so scared.
Just be like, God damn, there he goes again. That's so fucking scary. Stop it. Anyway, notwithstanding that. But yeah, he actually fails to get the old man to give him a ride. He's just like, I guess I gotta walk. And incidentally, he just uses some of his supernatural powers.
Yep, like, he pats her on the back of the head, and she's like, hey, I'm not sweaty anymore.
It's just like, aha.
I sucked away all your sweat.
I used it once before, too. And she's just like, for what? And he's just like, no. He's just like, I'm not telling. And I was just like, shit, did I miss something in the scene? I don't know what he used his powers for.
I'm just gonna headcanon that he used his powers to keep the ice cream cold.
Yeah,
he had that thing for a long time.
It was just in his pocket. Is the next scene is the Buccio one, right? And
Buccio is doing fucking paperwork.
Yeah, he's registering to live.
Yeah.
He's basically filling out his own birth certificate. He's just like, this is so stressful, and the mom is just like, well, I can do it for you. And he's like, no, I want to do it myself. It's like, okay, I'll help you.
You fucked up a perfectly good cat, is what you did. Look at it; it's got anxiety.
It's got anxiety. He couldn't have had this much anxiety before.
Exactly.
I don't know. Some cats are really anxious.
Some cats are really anxious, but like they're not aware of anxiety.
Yeah, I don't think they have the mental framework to get as anxious as people do.
They don't have to be stressed out.
This guy now knows about taxes, and he's.
I know. This man can think about the future.
Yeah. This guy can ask, "Why are we?" and not nothing.
He can ask questions, and that's fucked up.
Yep.
But he's doing that, and he talks about how they like had a like celebratory dinner for him. I'm just like, this is adorable. They made him fucking salmon because they're treating this like Buccio goes to college. Like I said,
pretty much.
It's like an achievement. Like. And fuck it, I don't know. I guess that's an appropriate response. Like, what do you do if your cat achieves sentience?
I think and becomes sort of a supernatural being.
I guess this is the only responsible thing to do is try and make him feel like it's a good thing.
Yeah, because I mean, this cat didn't ask to become Nekomata.
They're literally trying to prevent his anxiety. They're trying to unfuck up the cat.
Yeah,
by
good for them.
Nurturing him. Um, but this is the scene where he talks about like, yeah, I'm supposed to have, yeah, because he's talking to the boy later, and he's just like, do you have any powers? And he's just like, I don't know. I don't know anything. I was like born yesterday.
Doesn't the kid be like, why are you a Nekomata? And I wrote just down like, you can't just ask someone why they're a
just ask
Nekomata.
people why they're black.
Stop it.
So basically we get to a scene where it's just like, well, what do I do? Like now that I'm like this, and it's just like, well, you could go. You know what you could do? You could go ask some of the other yokai. They probably have some advice for you. And he's just like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, why don't you go talk to Jiro-san and the old man, whose name is like Tetsuzanko or something. It's
yeah, I don't remember.
He's got a great name.
He's a very severe looking guy.
I really like him, actually. Like,
oh yeah, I mean he's great.
Tazenbo is his name.
Yes.
But he's just like, yeah, I guess I'll go do that. And he goes to see. Wait, is this before or after Jiro-san and?
The order doesn't especially matter.
Yeah, okay. We'll tackle them both because he goes to see Jiro, and he's very accommodating for him. Because he's got his hat in his hands, like literally. He's asking for help and advice, and the old man comes in, and he just goes, "Oh, hello, sir." And he's just like, "Yeah, he is a little scary, isn't he?" Because he's got a very severe face. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, look at."
Yep.
And they both of them just straight up say, "Yeah, we'll do whatever we need to help you, like to help you figure out what you want to do with your life."
Yep.
And we'll see if we can find somebody who knows a little about Nekomata and like what they can do with their supernatural powers. Because yeah, the Tengu wouldn't know. Like
yeah, their powers are a little out of the Tengu purview.
Yeah. The shit Tengu did in like mythology was like control the wind and shit. And like
be
knock
silly
people
little
off of
guys.
mountains.
Yeah.
Just generally kind of be a menace.
These Tengu are much nicer boys.
Just for reference, from my prior knowledge of yokai, what Nekomata should be good at is trickery, illusion, and necromancy.
Wait.
We'll see if Buchio does any necromancy.
Oh, maybe he'll necromancy the girl's dad.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
I think he's gone to a place beyond necromancy. Speaking of the girl, she sees a gigantic man, which I was a big fan of. Like that was the tone setter for the episode, really.
Huge guy.
Because she's just walking home through the like on a street through the fields, and she sees I forget the name of this thing, but it is a huge, almost invisible man, just riding through the fields. He's like 75 feet tall, and he's just a silhouette. And she's just like, "Oh, hey!" And she just points and smiles at him. I was just like, I wonder if he's bringing any rain.
Yep. Probably.
Turns out, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, because she goes to see Jiro, basically just to hang out. It seems like.
Yeah, he's got his little shrine.
Yeah, he's got his little shrine, and they're making sushi, and she's just like, "Oh, what kind of sushi are you making?" He's like, "I'm making an inari sushi," and she's like, "I don't like that much." He's like, "It's just like, well, would you like it better if you made some with me?" And she's just like, "I guess." And they sit and they talk about like what's going on. And what's going on is that she's going to be a priestess when she grows up. She's already training to be a priestess. And the fire dance is fucking hard. And she doesn't get to do anything in the next festival because she has to practice for it.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get any of that. I completely missed that scene somehow.
It could be because you've got the eeps. But,
well, I think my mind just went blank when that scene happened. I remember them praying at the shrine.
Yeah, that's why.
Just idly just says the gods are watching.
I think that's why, because she's really mad about not being able to enjoy the festival, and he's just like, let's put some of this sushi on the shrine, and they put it on the little household shrine, and he's just like, the gods don't say much, but I think the local one likes Inara sushi. They don't say anything, but they're always listening, and he's just like, hey man, maybe maybe don't be so mad about the festival. You're going to do your part in it. Maybe the gods will reward you. Because this is part of something I want to talk about later, but like the gods being like textually real in this.
Yes, they're 100% they are real.
And we're actually going to get into that, I think, because I think this is after another Buccio scene. Because him and Jiro are walking through the fields, and he's got a fucking straw hat that somebody gave him, which I assume had to have belonged to a child at some point. But I'm looking at this cat with his straw hat in the
his little hat,
fields, and I'm just like, you're pulling at my heartstrings.
Oh, to be a little kitty cat.
He's so cute.
He's just a little guy
with a hat. Oh, to be Nekomata.
Because Jiro's going to introduce him to somebody. They were incidentally talking about, like, he found out that transformation is what Nekomata are really known for. And he's just like, he was looking into classes, and Jiro's just like, oh yeah, Naruhodo, I see. She's like, well, I'm sorry to ask you out here all suddenly, but I just wanted you to meet somebody. And it turns out the person they're going to meet is a woman that scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah.
She's completely stone-faced, so I kind of get it. Her name is Yuri. And they're talking about it, and she's just like, oh yeah, it's nice to meet you. And he's just like, all right, and so are you cool to take him on? And she's like, yeah, it should work. And he's just like, excuse me, what does that mean? And she's just like, you didn't tell him? She's just like, Gomenasai, sorry.
Surprise.
And
dink dink.
Yeah, she pops her ears out because it turns out she's basically a kitsune. They use a different word for it.
They use a different word, but she is essentially kitsune of some sort.
She is a fox spirit.
She's kitsune adjacent.
She's just like,
she's a fox.
She's like, I'm going to teach you what I know about transformation. And then he's just like, oh yeah.
He gets so happy. He gets the cutest little expression. His big old little smiley kitty face, and I'm just like, "Aw."
It's very good. Disney could never. But this is approaching like Totoro levels in places.
Yeah, kind of. Yep, a little bit.
But yeah, the shit we were saying earlier about the gods listening was very prescient, because there's a scene late in the evening where Muchan's family is hanging out, and they're all waiting around for Grandpa. It's just like when's Grandpa gonna hit her? And the dog, who is just a regular dog, Taro-kun. I was like, and I pointed and I said, "Dog." Perks up and barks, and they're just like, "Oh, it must be him." No barking, Taro-kun. And she runs out the backyard, and there's this fucking glowing horse.
Yep.
I forget what this thing's name is. It's like Omaru-sama.
Something.
They address it with Sama, so it's like precious sir.
Yeah, and like they're definitely the mom's just like, say thank you. My brain is like, do not approach this creature.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, this isn't the show that it would be troublesome, but
apparently the Japanese horse spirit is nice. Many other horse spirits are unpleasant.
Most horse spirits in most other
I'm just thinking about the Scottish one that gets you that entices you onto its back, and then it just fucking drowns you.
Yeah, the kelp meme. Yep.
But yeah, she's just like, "Oh, Grandpa's not here, but the horse is here." It's just like, "Well, say thank you." And she says, "You've done such a good job." And he goes, and he turns into a little cucumber monster.
It looks
Because
like a little grasshopper thing.
she apparently made him to go and fetch Grandpa. Grandpa's ghost, because Grandpa is dead.
Grandpa is in the afterlife,
and he is the horse has fetched Grandpa so Grandpa can hang around with the family for a few days and watch horse races on TV, which is pretty good. And I was just thinking about it because, yeah, she goes to feed the little cucumber monster and reward him for his hard work. Which it's really interesting because she's basically practicing magic at this point, but in a way that we aren't like familiar with as like Westerners, because it's not so much casting a spell as asking a spirit to do you a favor.
Yes.
And by giving it a little cucumber body.
And treats.
And treats. And while she's sitting there, she's like, why couldn't you bring back Dad too? Like, you didn't see him? It's like, and the thing's like, and there's a ghostly hand on her shoulder. And this is the thing that actually like pulled on my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah. This scene was like, I was just literally like, oh.
You're just like, oh shit, this has a emotional depth because yeah, there's a gentle ghostly hand on her shoulder. It's just like, it would make your father sad if you thought of him as dead.
Aw.
And when she turns around, there's nobody there because Grandpa's a ghost. I'm just like, oh man, this is setting up a really interesting, like, sort of environment in which you can deal with like the realities of life with the support of like your dead relatives and the local god.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very, very sweet and comforting.
It's a cozy show.
What happens next?
I think that's just about the end of the episode.
Oh no, it's not.
Is it not?
It's not.
There's like some sort of mystery thing going on that I didn't understand. There was a briefcase.
No, it's not. It's not. That's not nearly the end. It's like,
did I just exactly black out next. For most of this episode?
I think did you fall asleep?
I don't think I did. I didn't think I did.
Because Buccio's got to learn how to make human hands.
Oh yeah, I did.
He's got to freak me out personally. Because Yuri is teaching him. She's trying to teach him, and he's struggling and he's nervous, and she straight up addresses that. She's just like, "Are you afraid of me?" And he's just like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Okay, oh, I get it." And she reaches out and she clasps one of his paws between both of her hands and turns his hand into a human hand.
Into a human hand.
She's like, of course you know how to transform. You're already transforming. You're using scissors because they've been sitting there cutting the stems of flowers. She's like, you're using scissors. Do you think a cat can do that? It's just like, you made hands already. You're just doing it subconsciously. And he's just
now
like,
you gotta focus on it.
Naruhodo. So she teaches him like an exercise to make his hand into like a full human hand. And it takes him a minute. Like, she's out in the garden working, and she's just like give it some effort. Don't just try and get used to it. And he's just like, oh, and he turns it into a hand, and he goes, oh yeah, and then it goes away, and he's like, oh,
yeah,
it's like, too much effort. You strain too much. And the kids come around to see how he's doing, and they're just like, Gambare Buccio, and he's just like, I can do it, and he puffs out both hands into human hands. And he's like, yeah, and he high fives. Like, good for Buccio. Buccio's asserting his will in this world.
I wonder if they're gonna give him like a human form at any point in this show.
That would be funny.
It would be pretty funny.
It would be make it like a lighter, softer version of the Vlad can't get cat spaces right thing from What We Do in the Shadows. And the most important part of this is we got to cut back to Mucham because she's coming home one day and she opens the door to say hello to her mother, but her mother's on the phone, talking very quietly with somebody. She's like, "Yes, I understand. Yes, I see. So no trace?" And she's like, "Yes." And Muchan runs away, clearly upset, even through the woods, until she runs into Jiro. Um, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, kid, what's wrong? You seem really upset." And she can't even speak to him. And she hugs him. He's just like, "They're there. It'll be okay." And I was like, "Oh, this is sweet of him." And later, him and the older Tengu are talking to her mother, because she brought them a bunch of celery they couldn't possibly eat by themselves. Uh, and she lets him know that it's just like, "Yeah, I was speaking to a detective earlier about him," which is clearly Muchan's father. It's just like,
what the fuck happened?
yeah, they drop this on it. It's just like, yeah, the detective said that it was pretty clear he had been swallowed up by the void. And when they're talking privately later, Jiro is just like, "Yeah, I think Muchan knows what happened to her father." And the old thing is like, "'Cause she can see it." And it's just like, yeah. And I'm just like, that's no good.
Yeah, that's scary.
Jiro does say that he's going to try and like step into the role of her dad until she can deal with reality. And I'm just like, is that something you should do? You know what? You're fine. I get the impression that Jiro has like lived in this valley for like hundreds of years. So I don't know, maybe maybe he can handle that.
Jiro, did you fuck my mom?
Jiro, did you fuck my mom?
We can't do it.
But
anyhow.
And yeah, the last scene is of her on the tail of that she can see it thing, because yeah, she can see like the dark mist in the forest, and I'm just like, "Yo, hey, whoa, this is kind of a weird tone shift." Oh yeah, and there's like a snake watching them.
There is a snake thing.
There's like an albino snake watching the Tengu talk about it. I'm just like, what does it mean? So that's the end of the episode. Yep. And I'm going to mention it
mysteries.
Here because they didn't appear anywhere in the show, but there is a character named Chiaki Nishia who has a fucking car for a head.
Yeah, the car head guy. Oh my god.
Who appears in the intro.
He's in the intro.
I desperately want to know what the fuck his deal is.
He's very funny.
That's a Tumblr like sexy man right there.
He's got like a Fiat 500 for a head.
He looks so happy though.
He's so happy.
He's so happy. He's a little car guy.
I don't even want him to speak. I just want him to beep.
Yes. Beep, beep, beep.
I watched this with my girlfriend, and she said, "Wouldn't it suck if you like got a car and then it turned into a guy, and you just have to live with the car now?"
Yeah, it turned into a man. Like now you're responsible for him.
Would you still have to do car payments?
Yeah, it's like on the phone with your fucking credit union. It's like, no, cancel it. They don't have authorization for that. He's a man now. I'm not paying for that.
It's like, come on, you're just fighting with your insurance company. Like, what do you mean yokai aren't covered? Come on.
It's an act of God.
You just put your hand over the phone and you're just like, you're going to have to get a job if this continues. I do not have money for 2 car payments.
Oh, now you've given I'm gonna ride on your anxiety.
I've given the car anxiety.
No.
Take me to the grocery store and he just picks you up. Bridal carries you down to the corner store.
Whoa. Don't threaten me with a good time.
So yeah, what did you guys think of this show? I'm my bias may have slipped. I'm pretty pleased with it.
It's cute. I had a good time watching it. To me it's more to me, okay, in terms of would you watch more of it? To me it's more of a popcorn anime. Mm-hmm. Like I would throw this on as a background thing probably. I don't know if I'm going to like immediately hunt it down to binge watch, but like I said, it's watchable. It's cute. It's charming.
I'm not really a background anime watcher, but I would probably come back for more of this
Mm-hmm.
when I was feeling bad, because I feel
Yeah,
like it
that's
would.
true. This is
I feel like it would
very
be
comfort.
healing.
This is very comfort food. This is soup for the soul, as it were.
It's very comfortable. It's very relaxing. What do you
Michael,
think,
did you
Blacko?
have a good time?
I think that it was somewhat boring, but it was pretty nice. It's the kind of thing where, like, I looked at the number of episodes, and if there were 6 episodes, I'd definitely watch it. But it's twice as many. It's 13 episodes.
That's a standard number of anime episodes.
I'm aware it's a standard number,
days.
but it's too many for me.
I know. Listen, put it at 2x speed, and it can be a 6-episoder.
That's true.
That is true. So yeah, not much to say. The intro and outro music were completely inoffensive, but to the point where they just sort of
not very memorable.
Washed over my mind.
Yeah, I don't remember them at all, honestly.
The art was quite good. I actually enjoyed all of these characters.
Yeah, they were charming. The character designs.
I think it was well animated.
Yeah,
they're all friendly.
It was good to look at.
Jiro is so nice as to be almost a little infuriating. You ever meet somebody who's just like, why are you so not? You've got.
It's like, stop being so perfect, you jerk.
You've got no bite back in you at all. Come on. Somebody you can't tease because they're too nice. But yeah. Anyway, how was I going to segue this?
Stupid sexy bird.
If you wouldn't pay your car insurance after that turned into a grown ass man, tell us about it at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is the word, not the number. Tweet us pictures of yokai. We are at oneepisodecast on Twitter and Blue Sky.
I was about to say that was unlikely, but I will take any goblin sighting.
Doesn't have to be Japanese. It doesn't have to. What is a yokai? A yokai could just be a weird bug that you saw. Yokai can be anything.
I did want to say, tag yourself. I'm the giant man. I'm the giant invisible man that makes it rain when he walks across your valley.
I'm the cucumber monster.
I'm the fox lady for sure.
Cucumber horse.
I'm Fox. That's it. The end.
You want me to feed you cut up carrots?
Yeah, please do.